Hey everyone, this is Vedu here. Just wanted to make a video. It's been a while since I made one. Just want to kind of give everyone an update about what's going on, some of the things that I'm working on, some of the things to look forward to, since we only have approximately 2 weeks before the New Year's. So a lot of big things are going to be changing, I guess, on my end. 2022 is probably going to be a big year for me as far as like stuff in Maple. As many of you already know, I do liberate in January, so currently farming really hard for that. As you can see right now, I am eventually, well, I've already kind of started the process of it. I'm going to be co-maining a Mihal. I just always kind of been a fan of Mihal, the gameplay of it, the bossing aspects of it, and I just think it's a really enjoyable class. Really satisfying with the Royal Guard mechanic and stuff like that. I've always just really enjoyed that, like watching gameplay video or gameplay footage of the class and everything. So, gonna be working on that quite a bit. Don't judge me too much based upon this Boston video. I still am learning a lot of stuff about the class, so I'm sure there's a lot of things in the video that I'm doing wrong, especially as far as like little the nuances of optimizing DPS and stuff like that. Some things that I know I need to work on, but I'm just kind of just doing this for fun. I first soloed normal Lotus on my Mihal back at like 9k stat, and that's without any like attack lines on his WSC. I think I have one attack line actually on my weapon, so pretty unoptimized. But obviously the class just doesn't die. It's a really fun class to play. Anyway, let's get going with everything I want to talk about. It's just kind of a mix of different things. First up, I want to give everyone like a update on my YouTube stuff. So there seemed to be a really good response toward the podcast that Jared and I did, Sniz. A lot of people really seemed to enjoy it. I had some feedback from it. I saw some things, mostly positive. I did see some people have issues with some of the stuff that we talked about that I would like to follow up on, maybe in episode 2. But I don't really want to like dwell on that too much. I kind of honestly want to move on to other things that might include it in there anyway. But I am in the process of working on episode 2 right now. At the time, it's still kind of like just rough draft. I don't know if I'm going to bring Sniz back for episode 2. There's a couple other people in mind that I do have. I want to kind of have like a variety of different guests on the podcast and stuff. And at the same time, you know, the reason why they're a little bit more spaced out is because I want the topics to be something of significance. You know, I don't want to have a podcast episode like every week and basically be talking about the same thing over and over. You know, there's only a certain amount of stuff to talk about in the game. Any major updates or any big events or stuff like that that happens, you know, will obviously be a good cue for a new episode of the podcast. So I want to keep it interesting and entertaining, but at the same time, I don't want to space it out too much that people just like completely forget about it. I want the retention to be there, so I'm still trying to find that balance. Other than that, as was already stated earlier, we are getting close to the holiday season. If you guys celebrate Christmas or you know, the other holidays that you may celebrate, I hope you guys have a very great holiday season. I hope you guys stay safe. With that, and kind of referring back to my YouTube channel, obviously this year I started doing a lot more YouTube content. I just want to say, like, I really appreciate all the support and like seeing people in game that tells me that they like my content, or you know, that they watch my videos and stuff. I mean, that just is such like a morale boost for me. You know, it makes me want to keep producing content and keep making things. So with that being said, I would like to kind of like give back a little bit. I'm gonna be doing a 25k NX giveaway for my viewers and for my subscribers. Basically, I'm gonna just be selecting a random person in order to be entered into the giveaway. Just comment below, like just comment anything below, and just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I will pick a winner for the contest on next Wednesday. I don't have a calendar in front of me, so I don't know what date that is off the top of my head. But yeah, so next Wednesday I'll pick a winner, and I'll reach out to you and give you the code card. So like I said, to enter it, all you gotta do is just comment below and just say anything at all. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I will get that sent out to one random winner, and I'll post that in the comments below that they won, so everyone can see who won. Moving on, let's talk about a little bit of my post-liberation plans. So, as I said, I do liberate next month in January. I've already soloed Vihila, so like it's literally just a waiting game at this point. We're gonna try to run on January 1st, so pretty much the very first day of January, assuming that we clear. We're gonna liberate me, Nikki, Justin, Jarrett, and Edward. We do have a new member for our party. Code Mayo, he was helping out for several months. He was just like helping the party out and stuff like that, but he went on to help some of his other friends. So last month, my longtime friend Tam Comey from Elite, he joined the party. He cleared for the first time in December, so he is on his way to his liberation. He's a Blaze Wizard, so we're going to be liberating next month. I have been aggressively saving up Meso. I'm currently farming right now, actually. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have as much Meso as I want to have. I mean, I think pretty much everyone can say that about anything at all. I mean, ideally, the more Mesos you have, the better in almost any situation. But I should have around at least like 60 to 65 bill, according to my kind of like daily quotas and stuff like that. So the average Meso cost for 3-line attack on your weapon looks like it's right at 60 bill. So I'm hoping that I can fall within that average range, and I hope that I can get it. If I don't, I mean, it's not going to be like the end of the world. I mean, I'll get it eventually. I mean, that's obviously going to be my goal. Or if I can get like 2 lines boss with a really good line of boss damage, you know, I'll take that temporarily. But so yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm looking forward to right now. With that, with the liberation, that kind of falls into the next thing I was going to talk about, which is the new boss Seren. I'm not going to go into full detail about that right now because there's just a couple other things I want to talk about first. But obviously, being liberated is going to help out tremendously with Seren. For anyone who's knowledgeable about the boss Seren, being liberated and having the Genesis iframe is pretty paramount and extremely helpful for Phase 2 in Seren for the test. In addition to that, obviously, you're just going to get a pretty substantial DPS increase from switching to Arcane weapon to Genesis weapon. So, other than that, some of my other post-liberation plans, you know, I'm still going to be working toward my shade. I don't want to like be complacent and just like give up on my shade entirely. For the entirety of 2022, I would like to get to like level 280 or so for my shade. I do think it's just a matter of time before they release another area, and then one of the apostles for Darmor. So like the next, or I guess like the first true boss. Because I think like Seren's supposed to be kind of just like a filler boss, honestly, you know? She's obviously like super duper hard right now, but I do think there's going to be a new boss coming out. I'm going to completely guess and speculate here and say that it's probably going to be coming out the summer patch for KMS. So it'll be here the winter patch for GMS of 2022. Again, just complete speculation. I could be wrong. It could be further than that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they waited until winter patch 2022 in KMS to release the new area with the new boss. But I don't know. I think that's too long of a wait, especially with people already clearing Seren and stuff like that. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But nevertheless, so whenever the new boss does come out, I think the new boss is probably going to be like level 280. So with that being said, you know, you don't want to be five levels under leveled, in addition to having a big Sacred Force reduction. So I'm gonna try to get like level 280 sometime in 2022. As I stated at the beginning of the video, I also am working on my Mihal. I'm not really sure how far like I want to push him or get him or anything like that. I mean, I really would love to like liberate on him. I mean, I'm still doing all the early and mid game bosses and stuff like that, so I haven't really gotten like a deep dive into the class. But you know, from what I've played with Mihal, like I really love the class. I just really like the in-your-face playstyle and just like tanking everything. Purposely putting yourself like in danger to proc your Royal Guard and stuff. It's just really fun. I just really like it. I mean, eventually I would like to liberate the Mihal, but that's obviously like a long work in progress with the Arcane Force requirements and stuff like that, and then just like getting up to that level. I mean, I know I could probably like get carried Black Mage and stuff like that once I got to the appropriate level, but I don't know. We'll see. Just for the time being, though, like in 2022, or at least the early part of it, I would like to at least get him to like level like 250, and then I would like to get him strong enough where he can um, contribute to a hard wheel party by himself. Not necessarily like, not just be in like a carry party, but like actually be in a, I guess, struggle. I mean, not really a struggle party. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to be able to contribute his portion of the DPS and stuff like that into like a hard wheel party, and then maybe even like like Varicilla or stuff like that. So we'll see. That's probably gonna be my very next thing that I work on after I liberate, getting my Mihal up to like 250, along with probably my Hayato. She's like level 230 already. Just go ahead and get her to 250 for the critical damage, Legion block, and then just like accumulate, because Hayatos are like pretty good farmers too, right? So also accumulate, and she's already got Meso gear on her, so accumulate some Mesos on the way to 250 as well. Other than that, I already kind of talked about Seren. That's like the next boss that we have on our plate. We have our target set on her. So the party that I'm in right now, it's basically like my Black Mage party. So 4 out of the 6 of us that are in the Black Mage, well, yeah, so there's 4 out of 6 of us that are in my current Black Mage party. It's also in my Seren party. So that would be Nikki, the Mercedes, Jarrett, Sniz, the Thunderbreaker, Justin, Popstarry, the Angelic Buster, and then obviously me. So that's like the 4 unliberated people. We all liberate next month. And then the other 2 members is Ewan. She's also a Shade. She's already liberated. And then Daniel. He's a Kana from Imperium as well. So that is the Seren party that I'm in right now. Seren is a very difficult boss. It's just the complete, like, it honestly makes like Black Mage look tame as a boss, like as far as the mechanics. And what I mean by that is like everything in Black Mage is predictable to a degree. Like everything's like, like I don't know, just everything's predictable in Black Mage. Like, there's just not as much bullshit in Black Mage, I guess you would say, as there is in Seren. I mean, Seren is just like chaos at some parts. I mean, obviously it probably doesn't help that, we're all still learning the boss and learning the mechanics and learning the attack patterns and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure after a while it's gonna get better. I mean, honestly, like I kind of predict by about this time next year, people will probably be like doing parties of 3 or 4 for Seren for better chance at the emblem drop loot. That honestly wouldn't surprise me at all, as more people get more Sacred Force, and as more people become more and more accustomed and familiarized with the boss. I mean, it obviously goes without saying, all bosses, when they're first released, very difficult, and there's a learning curve there for everyone, but once people get over that curve and once they get familiar with the boss, they kind of progress and figure out the best tactics and strategies for that boss and kind of move forward. So with that being said, right now, our main strategy and main goal is obviously acquiring 140 Sacred Force. That's still going to put us at a 60% final damage reduction for phase 2. But that's currently what some of the other parties are clearing at, 140. I do know that we're kind of like at a disadvantage with the party composition. It's just realistically speaking, it's not the strongest classes in that party by any means. I mean, there's 2 Shades and a Thunderbreaker, so but we're gonna give it our go. I mean, we're gonna try our hardest. Once we liberate, we start our actual first true like Seren attempt around the middle of January. Is when we're gonna start like really trying. We've been doing some practice attempts over the past like couple weeks, and we have some more practice attempts planned over the next couple weeks as well. So I may upload one of those VODs if I get around to it, and you can see how horribly that I'm doing in there. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun. For those unfamiliar, Seren, she drops an emblem, like a class-specific emblem, and that emblem is part of the pitch boss set. So that would be like pretty huge for me, because I have a bad tendency of getting pitch boss items and then blowing them up. So any pitch boss item that I can get that can't be blown up, so like an emblem would be absolutely perfect. Because then the only thing that I would have to focus on is just like cubing it, you know? So yeah, so that would be fun. And she also gives a new skill. Like the skill that she gives is kind of similar to the will skill, like the spider skill that you summon, and it just like attacks monsters randomly over like 40 seconds or whatever, how long it is. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. This video is mostly just a ramble. I kind of just like wanted to give an update on everything because I know we're getting ready to go into the New Year's, and I'm probably not gonna have another video made unless I get that podcast cranked out before the New Year's. But I just want to kind of give everyone an update, kind of tell everyone thank you for such a wonderful year. I may post something around New Year's on the channel, but we'll see. If you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. I know this video is just kind of me rambling, but it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys stay safe and have a good holiday season. See ya.